Ho, ho, ho. That's right. Christmas is coming, and this is your Christmas gift from me about CGC. See what I did there? So we're going to go over to the computer in a minute and go over things they have on their website. I've had not a lot of pushback to my video. Actually, a lot more people are coming to the conclusion that it may be just a money grab. There is a number of people that have been saying things politely, nobody's going out of control, but how much they enjoy grading books because they want their comics to be protected, and they want the grade to be on the book so that when they go to sell it, that they know what the grade is. So I wanted to educate some of those people on actually what CGC guarantees you as the customer for the grade and the protection. Also, I wanted to go over some of the things that have been going on with them and the problems with their encapsulation when they had the banana gate and so forth. You'll see when you look at their process that it's laid out on their website, but it's not actually happening in practice. Because if it was, then they would know when they would have a problem. So follow me over and let's take a look at what's going on at CGC. So this is the CGC Comics, their website. They have a thing, CGC grading process. I'm not going to read it to you. It'll be up on the screen long enough for you to pause and read. We're going to go down and go through they show the process. 7 steps. The receiving, this is what they have when a submission is received. It's opened. CGC staff security cameras and immediately checked against the submission paperwork. That sounds great. That's very important. That way, you know, your books stay with your order and there's video proof of it. I like it. Sounds good. Verification. They basically go through the process of checking the book and making sure it's authentic, matches the information provided by you. They give it a unique ID and barcode. This part of the process sounds fantastic. The authentication process. Verification process is where they verify your order, adding the ID. Now it moves over to the authentication process. So each piece gets authenticated before it begins to be graded. Obviously, if it's a fake, it'll be kicked out and it won't be graded. Or there's all kinds of like little things which they don't list on here that keeps your comic from being capable of being graded. Then the grading. Now, grading is a team effort. So multiple people are going to be looking at your book and handling your book to ensure that the accuracy and consistency. Well, I don't understand. If it's not the same 2 people working together all the time, I don't understand where they think that means consistency. But this is what they say. They enter a grade for each collectible into the CGC's computer system. The consensus is then reached and a final grade of the collectible is entered. Then the encapsulation. Now it has the grade. They've printed the thing, the label, and they're putting it into the plastic holder. Pretty simple, straightforward. This is one of the ones I have a big problem with. Quality control. So they say that once the comic's been encapsulated and is graded, somebody checks it, looks at it before it gets sent out, carefully inspects your collectible. Then how is Banana Gate going on? How did all those books get out back to the customer with high grades, and then the bananing with the comics getting a crease or a dent, and what kind of quality control is that? They don't have any answer for that. They don't take any responsibility for that. I don't understand how people can put so much faith in a company that has put so little time into their system. Everybody says, well, they've been doing it a long time. Well, when you've been doing something a long time, a lot of complacency happens. And to cut corners for cost, if you go to their website and go under there and look at this process, the grading process, it's written so they can use it for every single grading process that they do. It's the same thing with different pictures on the other parts of the grading. With the quality control, obviously people are not looking at the books. They're not paying attention. So, because the first time, if they were doing really good quality control, the first one that was put in those bent or damaged holders, which created damage to the books, they could have stopped the assembly line and it would have been a lot less books and a lot less damages. Packaging and shipping. If you've done a lot with CGC, you know all about it. It looks good. Sometimes it comes and there's not a problem. Sometimes it comes and you've got little pieces of plastic floating around inside. Maybe that's from shipping. Maybe it's not, because we know how lax the quality control is. But more importantly, I want to move over to something, what we talked about when we started this. This is the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about. Here we are on the CGC Guarantee. Type of collectible: comic books, magazines, lobby cards, and concert posters. This is excluding collectibles encapsulated in a red CGC memorabilia label. All right? So just for those ones that I read, what is their guarantee? Now, all the pushback for me on our video about don't grade another book until you watch this video, which has had a lot of views, and I really appreciate it, and thanks for sharing it and talking about it. But here's the thing. The collectible has been inspected by at least 2 professionals. They guarantee it's been inspected by 2 professionals. The collectible is authentic, unless stated otherwise on the CGC label. What's missing? Protection and grade. They don't even guarantee their grade. They say the 2 professionals looked at it, but they don't say that if another independent company grades you this book, we guarantee that it will be a 9.8, or it'll be whatever. It'll be a 4.0. We guarantee. That's how professional our guys are. We guarantee the grade.
There's no guarantee on the box.
Nobody can grade it differently. It's not in there. Why? Because grading is subjective, and they'll give whatever grade they feel like giving, and they don't got to guarantee it. And everybody, my comic is protected. What's missing there? The guarantee that your comic's protected, because it doesn't have UV, and those protectors are damaging some of the books, and if you drop it, they're not guaranteeing that the container, the encapsulation, will protect your comic. It's doing none of those things. So if you want to display, there's options, right? So if you want to display your book, there's these top loaders. You can buy them UV protected, get you some really good Mylar, get you some really good archival paper, because you won't need the support with the top loaders. You could even put a regular backboard behind the archival paper. Drop it in here. It's going to be way more protected, way better protected than in the big giant CGC. The thing is that everybody loves the label. Make your own freaking label and put it on top. You know, it's going to cost you a lot less. You can set your wall up like this. There's a lot of different ways. There's companies that make them that actually have hangers on the back. I like that this is clear both sides. They also make acid-free clear backs, which you can get. I hate the term do your own research, but I haven't had the time to get all the stuff together to show it to you. So be sure you look out there for it. There's a lot of alternatives that are a lot cheaper than getting them graded. And if you're selling your book right away, sure, go ahead and grade it. But if you're going to long-term keep your books for a long-term investment. There's a lot of different options, and you won't have to get them graded until you're selling them. And a complete lower risk of bananaing, yes. This company has done an amazing job at making people believe their product does something that it doesn't. And I don't know how they've done it without saying it, right? Everybody just believes this to be true, and it's not in their guarantee. So if you had a problem with an item and you tried to sue, they'd go, well, this is our guarantee. 2 people looked at it, and it's authentic. Unless it says on the label that it's not authentic. This is, to me, so funny, where I get so much pushback for, this is so funny to me that I get so much pushback from CGC homers because they're making money. We have to go back to remembering that there's stuff more important than money. One of the things more important than money is integrity, which I talk about a lot, which this company has none. I tried to find some of the videos because I really wanted to show some of the videos and point out and react to some of the videos, like when they had the young woman who was a new grader, and she was doing an interview, and it was on their Instagram, and I looked all over the internet to find it, but I couldn't find it. But I wanted to point out, you're looking at her when she's talking, and you're not looking around the office when she's walking through. I was looking around the office, and the things you didn't see is nobody was wearing gloves. It wasn't a clean atmosphere. It was, people were just at cubicle desks and had their coffee on it, and they could be easily distracted by other people coming through. There was books piled on the desk. It was not an ideal situation for what you would think of when you're talking about doing almost conservative. Like, a lot of people think that this is close to being a conservator, and that's what they're doing for you. They're sealing your book and conserving it for the future with a condition of it. They're not. They're not. This is a gimmick for a business that has been super profitable. Where will they be in 10 years? Will there be enough work to keep CGC this big? I don't think so. I think that they're reaching saturation. I think that they're probably already laying off graders. I think that there's been a move to not grade everything. Because books are coming down, and then your profit margins when you're paying these high exorbitant fees for expensive books, it just doesn't work. This is my biggest problem with grading, is they're trying to be one business, but they're not the business. They don't even make claims, obviously, on their guarantee. They're not claiming to be that, but they're not telling people they're not that, right? So it's very important that you educate yourself. If you're going to be a high-end comic book collector, investor, learn to grade your own books. You'll make way more profit buying it anywhere when you know the grade. Then you can negotiate your price. And people are like, well, I don't want to know all that. Well, then whether you're buying from a comic shop or getting it graded through CGC, you can be completely conned into thinking that it's one grade when it's not. Get you about 10 or 11 graded comics. Get your friends together who have one or two if you don't have any. Put them all together that have the same grade. See if they're the same, if the books are the same. There aren't. So 9/8 aren't even the same. When 9/8 was the best they were giving out, there's some 9/8 that are really great, and then there's some that are almost a 9/6, right? Or should be a 9/6, and it was just a good day for that guy that day. You got lucky. Make sure you educate yourself on the comic industry. The most important thing, keep reading comics.